O Great Spirit, Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. Om Shri Babaji, Ya Namaha. Om Shri Lahiri Mahasayaji, Ya Namaha. Om Shri Yukteswarji, Ya Namaha. Om Shri Paramahansa Yoganandaji, Ya Namaha. Om Shri Shaliji, Ya Namaha. Om Shri Kriyanandaji, Ya Namaha. Ancestors of all of our lineages, Ya Namaha. O ye beings of the air, the earth, the fire, the water, the ether, Ya Namaha. O ye powers that be, we come to thee today and call upon thee to be with us as we share this time together. Be with us. Bless us, sweep clear our paths, that we might find ever greater joy and equanimity, that we might find happiness, deep, abiding, anandic bliss, that we might find clarity in the midst of chaos, that we might see that which needs to be seen and do that which needs to be done, that we might be able to sit in the silence, to sitting here doing nothing. Spring comes. Namaste, namaste, namaste. My heart welcomes you this morning. I'm so joyfully happy to be with you today. Mars is moving today, yay! After a number of months of being retrograde, the planet that we all associate with energy, good, strong, strength needed upon the earth, is moving in a new direction today, bringing us health and vitality and help and energy. Today we're going to continue with our discussion of strength, concentration, awareness, and detachment. Kriya Yoga is the path of turning inward. It is a path of turning inward. Everything in life is symbolic. You must learn to read the signposts. You must learn to read the symbols. Kriya Yoga is not a exoteric tradition. It is an esoteric tradition. Esoteric means you must be able to see and understand the symbol language of life. Now, it is through the form of the Ishta Devata that we are better able to understand the symbol language of life. This is one way. And I have been giving you different hints and pointers about developing a relationship with your Ishta Devata. Remember, your Ishta Devata, your chosen form of that which you value the most in life. You, not me, not God, not guru, not mama, not papa, not husband, not wife, not friend, not boss. But you. What you value the most. Now, there are 4 types of people who practice the Kriya Ishta ritual. Categorize them into 4 types. There is the introverted. Listen to see which one you fall into, all right? The introverted, reflective person who approach yoga as a philosophical pathway, who attune to knowledge. These are the Jnani yogis. Then there are those who have a strong disposition towards devotion. These are the Bhakti yogis. There are the doers, those who are motivated by action, who have to do. They gravitate towards karma yoga and hatha yoga. And then there are the esoteric yogis, those individuals who have a predisposition towards mysticism, the language, the life of symbolism, of a symbolic relationship to life that thou art a part of. And these are the practitioners of Kriya Kundalini Yoga. Now, which one are you? What do you value? What do you attune to? A human being is spirit clothed in garments of soul, mind, and body. And you can't really easily distinguish between the three because they are combined so tightly. Most people's sense of self, your sense of self, is very much linked to this. And, this, the physical, in other words. Or to what we call your personality, your preferences in life. But this is not your true self. The Atma is not your true self. And so what we are trying to do with attunement to the Ishta Devata is to move beyond, to separate the divine essence which you are from your ego self, from your personality, from your attachment to your preferences. When you begin to do this, you begin to become aware of the presence within, the presence that permeates your entire being. And it's just wonderful. What we need to begin to do, what you need to do, again, this step today is to say, let me stop for a minute. What are my preferences? Now, I am not suggesting that you give up your preferences. I'm suggesting that you give up your attachment to your preferences. Big difference. You can say, well, I really, really, really like lentil soup. But if you put a bowl of mushroom soup in front of me, I'm going to enjoy it equally. I really, really, really like the fall. But when spring comes, I'm going to enjoy it equally. I will equally participate in it. I will give up, my beloved, hear this, the resistance within myself. Will be giving up the resistance to the idea that, here we go, it's spring again. Or, here we go. It's 15 degrees out instead of 80. And the mind becomes attached to these preferences. And as it's attached to the preferences, you become unhappy because the life that you are living is not precisely exactly the way that you think it should be. I remember a day that I had a Jupiter aspect, and it was, to this day, still the most perfect day that I had ever experienced. I looked in the mirror and I felt beautiful, just beautiful. And everybody that I encountered was kind. Everything was really, 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 really nice. One day. one day in all of the days of the lifetime. And there have been many, many good days. But we need to be able to find a way to detach from these preferences, because they become like little pricks in your consciousness. Little pricks in your consciousness. I know someone who is attached to weather, and they really like the weather to be high 70s, low 80s, maybe mid 80s, but they don't like any other weather. So their mind becomes discontent. They moved across the country to get to a location where they would have what they thought was going to be perfect weather. And they got there and it wasn't perfect. Because we live in a world of duality. There is nothing here that is perfect. If it was perfect, it wouldn't be here. Now what happened? That soul can either give up their attachment to their preferences, or every day that it's not exactly the right temperature, they can walk around with discontent. In the same way, there was a woman from the United Kingdom who in the early 1900s came to visit America, and went back and, what do you think? What do you think of the country? What do you think of the people? I don't know. What do you really think? What do you think? What's the problem? She said, the problem is those Americans, they want their feet and their hands to be warm at the same time. They want their head to be the right temperature that they want. They want their whole body, the front and the back, to be absolutely comfortable at the same time. So you can't stand in front of a fireplace to get warm because your back is behind you and it's not going to be as warm as you want. The front's going to be too hot, the back's going to be too cold. She said it makes for a lot of discontent. Isn't that interesting? So what are we seeking to do? What are you and I seeking to do in the attainment to the Ishta Devata? It is to be able to attune to your spirit, your self-existent one, your Atma, without these preferences. Now, you have to do something about it, because as you start to move upward, you start to meditate, you start to ascend, you leave the earth plane and you're ascending up the lower astral. Let's just say you ascend to the lower astral through your dream state. Well, what happens if you have, you're conscious in your dream and you have a dream that is fearful for you? You get knocked out of the dream. You have a dream that's beautiful for you. You get knocked out of the dream because of the emotions of your mind. Well, if you're trying to control your dream state, it's not very good to get knocked out of the dream. But you are moving and ascending upward. You're trying to attune to your Ishta Devata. You're ascending, 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 ascending. And you reach a high spot and you can't ascend anymore. Something is blocking you. And you look down and you realize that what is blocking you is the karma that is in your mind stuff, the karma that is residing in your body, your physical body, the karma that is residing within the chakras of your astral body. And we need something to neutralize that karma, something to assist in neutralizing the karma. To ascend to to become intimate with your Ishta Devata is the way to free yourself from your subconscious and unconscious imprisonment. Attunement to the Ishta Devata frees you from your conscious and unconscious imprisonment. When the psyche is purified, the images that emerge from the psyche are sacred and are noetic, knowledge-bearing. When your mind and your soul, your memory track, are purified, you then have the capacity to meditate upon the 3 stargates, and you can enter the realm, the astral realm, in this way. The Ishta Devata is the way. It is one of the ways, and one of the most powerful ways, to neutralize your karma and to allow yourself to ascend, 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 ascend. The spiritual world and the physical world, they merge, and you are able then to ascend to the higher realms. And in that ascension, to soften the karma before it manifests upon this plane. So what needs to be done? The key, one of the keys, is to recognize that within you, within me, are living thought forms. These thought forms have the quality of unselfishness. Within you are living thought forms that have the quality of unselfishness. And they attune to others who have the same, who are resonating the same unselfishness by thought, by word, by deed. Unselfish thoughts, unselfish actions, unselfish deeds, who are attuning to this, who are being kind to others, who are being gracious to others, who are being polite to others. You are relative to everyone who comes into your life, everything that comes into your life. It comes in because you are relative to it, my beloved. If you weren't relative to it, it would not come in. So, attuning to the Ishta Devata is introducing wisdom and unselfish love as a value. Kriya Yoga is the revelation of the Ishta Devata, a form of the divinity which you choose. You choose, not me. I'm saying it again. Not me, not mama, not papa, not God, not guru, not boss, not husband, not wife, not children. You choose the form of the Ishta Devata because it has a meaning to you, a deep meaning to you, not to anybody else. So it's important to pay attention to your Ishta Devata. This is what we're going to talk about today, because the Ishta Devata will get you from here to there, here to wherever you want to go. In the higher realms, the Ishta Devata will get you there. From here to wherever you wish to go in any realm, the Ishta Devata will get you there. And truly, attunement to your Ishta Devata will allow you to move from this incarnation to the next incarnation, sustaining your consciousness. The goal of the Kriya Yogi is to sustain consciousness through the birth, death, and rebirth cycle. Attuning to your Ishta Devata is the sutra the thread that will take you through the birth, death, and rebirth cycle. It's very, very, very important. Now, Kriya Yoga is a science, a living science, which is based upon the study of consciousness, really. So you cannot know the study of nature without knowing the study of your own consciousness. And to have full understanding of your consciousness, you need to be able to have a dialogue with, a communion with, an acknowledgement of the unredeemed, if you will, portions of yourself. The part of yourself that you don't like, the part of yourself that you're embarrassed about, the part of yourself that's needy, that's greedy, that is angry, that is emotional, that is resentful. The Ishta Devata facilitates communication between all these parts of the being. Absolutely facilitates it. Somebody wrote to me, a beautiful soul wrote to me, saying that they appreciated the resentment rituals, but they didn't really want to do them because they were quite concerned about what would happen if they faced the resentment. They could feel the resentment so strongly within their being that they didn't know what would happen if they actually did a ritual and tried to let go of the resentment. Because doing the ritual means you have to see it, right? Bless that soul for having the courage to write that. And that soul will be free. There's no doubt in my mind that they will be, that he or she will be able to face what they need to face. But all of us, no matter where you are on the path, we all have to face these parts of ourselves that are ugly. The things that we have supported, that we have allowed to continue, that are not healthy, that we don't value. But we have done it because of misguided thinking. So detachment is important. And attunement to the Ishta Devata is important. Said it 3, 4, 5, 6 times the same way. So we're going to stop. How do you tune to the Ishta? This is the dialogue today. What do you do to attune to your Ishta? Well, gosh, it depends on what your personality is like. Let's say you're attuned to knowledge. You're a Jnani yogi. Oh, my guru was really a Jnani yogi. He really was. You can tell by all of the ways that he taught. He was really a Jnani yogi. What do? Well, you study the sacred texts. Everything that you study, you invite your Ishta Devata to come and join you. Help me to gain wisdom. Help me to gain wisdom through the study of these texts. Help me to gain wisdom that I might see that which needs to be done. Do that which needs to be done. Offer your Ishta Devata those sacred texts that you think are so precious to you. Let's see. Here's a ritual. This is a very ancient ritual. It can be done by anyone, but if you happen to be a Jnani yogi, this is perfect for you. You take all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that are important to you, that you really, really value, and you're going to offer them to your Ishta. You bring one in front of you, right? Hold it in the left hand and begin. Call upon your Ishta first. And say something like, "My Lord, this is a beautiful text, which is meaningful to me. I offer this to you." Now the way to do it is you take the right hand, and you, with the thumb, see? Very easily. But you're not sitting here doing nothing. Your mind is offering every piece of wisdom that is in this text to your Ishta Devata. Every piece. A minimum of 3 times, preferably 7, that you do this. You offer to your Ishta, not once a week, every day. And then you want a greater attunement to your Ishta. You say, "My Lord, this is so meaningful to me. I offer it to you. And now may we share it with all other beings." All other beings. They can do the same thing again. But in your mind's eye, see all earthlings. You notice I didn't say all humans. I said all earthlings. They're sharing wisdom. This is a symbolic act. You don't have to read, they don't have to read Sanskrit, they don't have to read English or French or German or Japanese or Hindi. You are sharing wisdom. Symbolese is a universal language. All beings understand at a subconscious and unconscious level, and mystics, Kriya bonds, understand at a conscious level. And you offer. You and your Ishta. You offer. And perhaps in your offering, you remember someone who really thirsted for knowledge. For me, there was a young girl walking on a beach in India. There's a young woman in Afghanistan. There's a young soul in the countryside who cannot read, who doesn't have access to teaching, who wants to learn, who seeks learning and wisdom. But in this lifetime, they don't yet have it. For me, that's part of the image that I hold in my mind's eye. You, for you, you have to find the right way. So this is one way, all right? One way to do this if you're a Jnani yogi, if your disposition is towards acquiring knowledge, wisdom. Now, if you have a disposition towards devotion, towards being a bhakti, then what do? Well, you have an image of your Ishta in front of you, and you make offerings to your Ishta. What do you offer? Mantra. But we're Kriya bonds. So what else do we offer? The light. If you want, you can light a jyoti light, physical jyoti light, if it's meaningful to you. That's always helpful. But remember, it's the symbol that's important. So whether you light the light externally or your offering to your Ishta is you lighting a jyoti light every morning making sure that it's full in your mind's eye at noon, in the evening, before you go to bed, that Jyoti light is still burning. You offer your devotion in that sense to your Ishta. You bring fresh flowers every day to your Ishta. You bring fruit to your Ishta. Some people bring rice, some people bring kumkum, some people bring leaves, or write poetry for their Ishta. It doesn't matter. It is what you feel that you want to give. Some people bake and offer their Ishta something. One way sometimes people do is they say, well, I'm going to offer my Ishta the most delicious piece of chocolate I've ever tasted. So then you have to bring that to your mind's eye and offer it to your Ishta. Now, if you're doing it exoterically, and there's nothing wrong with adding that to what you're doing, you make these offerings on the physical plane. So you put the flowers in front of the image of your Ishta. You wear a symbol of your Ishta around your neck. You light candle for the Ishta. You burn incense for the Ishta. You pay attention. In both cases, you are paying attention to your Ishta. If you're mystically inclined, then what are you going to do? Everything is offered symbolically. Everything is offered internally. You see your Ishta in front of you and you make the offerings in that way. Both are fine. What you need to do in attuning to the Ishta is know what is best for you, what suits your personality. Not mine. Not mine. My personality is too weird. There's, Mortys of every shape and form here. Are you motivated by action? Are you a karma yogi? Are you motivated by action or by hatha yoga? Karma or hatha yoga? Well, karma yoga is doing, and this is something that is always a very strong part of our tradition, in this lineage. It is doing without any expectation of reward. You give of your time and your talents. And I know some of you do this. I know some of you teach language to people who need to be taught. I know that some of you are doing volunteer work for people who need to be helped. Some of you are helping people who are new to the country, who need to learn how to live in the country, whatever country it is that you're living in. Some of you are hatha yogis, and your entire practice is hatha yoga. This too is a practice that will draw you closer to your Ishta Devata. You're a hatha yogi, you invite your Ishta to join with you in every posture, in every movement, in every asana. Offer the doing of that to your Ishta and ask your Ishta to come and be with you. It's karma yoga. You offer it to the Ishta. Come. May I be your mount. Very deep mystical statement I just made to you. The mount of the Ishta. All Ishtas have a mount. The mount of the Ishta is that being, that consciousness, that soul that carries the Ishta, that embodies the Ishta, that represents the Ishta. Therefore, if your Ishta is wise, kind, compassionate, loving, non-violent, so you must be. And on the days that you slip and fall, we all do, and stumble, it's all right. Turn to your Ishta and rise up again. Now, the esoteric yogis, those who really have a predisposition towards mysticism, these are the yogis who study symbolism, who study astrology, who study the symbol language of astrology, but also really who focus much of their practice on the Kriyas. There are many Kriya techniques that we use. They all are linked to the breath. They are all linked to using the concentrated mind. If you're in this group of people, or you have some disposition to this, you may wish to do some of these practices. But all the practices there are linked to using yantra, mantra, yantra form, mantra, sound, linked to breath, linked to visualization, to neutralize karma. There are many techniques that we use, many practices that we use. And if you're linked to that, then you find a teacher who will share those with you. For the most part, they're not shared in the general public, but they are available. There are many who are practicing, and just make sure that you find someone to help you, that you talk to your Ishta about, that you feel is someone who is really going to be helpful to you. The one practice that I have shared publicly with you that falls in this category is the Prema Yogi practice. So this is something that you might practice if you're drawn in that way. What is important here? As you do these practices, your consciousness changes. So as you move into the higher astral, you move into the higher realms, you automatically neutralize karma. But the key thing is that you are attuning to the higher energies in the higher realms. You won't get kicked out, if you will. You won't get knocked back because you're not in attunement. You will be able to have an easy, clear communication between your Ishta and you, between the higher realms and you. So you have a problem, you turn inward. You ask the Ishta for guidance, and your Ishta will speak to you clearly. All the chakras and chaos of the mind go away. But you have to pay attention. So I'm going to close this part of our time together. We're going to do a ritual, and then we'll have some prayer. By asking you this question. How do you become intimate with another being? What do you want from someone who you want to be intimate with? Some being that you want to rely upon, that you want to trust, that you know is wise, wiser than any other being that you know? What do you want? Their acceptance of you, perhaps. Their understanding of you, perhaps. Their compassion towards you. Their kindness towards you. Their wisdom. Their love. But what do you need to do? You need to pay attention to them. You can't just say, well, Sunday I'm going to come and think about the Ishta. You can't just say, well, when I wake up in the morning I'm going to think about the Ishta. Your relationship with your Ishta will evolve as you work on it, as you create this degree of intimacy. Find the mantra that you wish to share with your Ishta. Chant the mantra all day long until the mantra is running through you. Until in your spare moments, standing there between stoplights, between walking across the street, between that waiting, instead of turning to your phone and turning something else on, pay attention to your Ishta. Turn inward and ascend upward. And all will be well, my beloved. All will be well. But it takes work. It takes effort. It is so, so worthwhile. So worthwhile. The joy, the beauty, the riches that will unfold for you are just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable what will unfold if you pay attention. You will be blessed beyond your wildest dreams. You will find the joy of life in the midst of the chaos, my beloved. You know, the world is in quite chaotic condition right now. But your sun center is not. So gather your energies, bring them to single pointedness. Not here, but one pointedness. At the heart center, at the sun center. And attuned to your Ishta Devata. Now, we're going to turn inward, if you will. Place your hands on your thighs in the Om Mudra, bringing the index finger and the thumb together, the hands cupped upward, and turn your head to the left, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center and begin to watch your breath. Use the sipping breath to draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk, sipping as if through a straw. Again, the sipping breath to draw the energy from the trunk of the body to the spinal column. From the base of the spine to the sun center. Move that energy as a golden ball of light out in front of you. Expand that ball of light and sweep it around you to the left, behind you, in front of you. And do this 2 more times. And now ascend. Ascend upward to the high place. Ascend as high as you are able. Reaching the high place of meditation. Ascend a little further to the upper realm of the meditation place. Settling where you're comfortable. Call upon your Ishta Devata to join you. If you know the Ishta's name, call upon my name. If not, call your Divine One to you. Greet your beloved Ishta. Smile upon your Ishta. Have your Ishta smile back. Feel your Ishta smiling back upon you. Now see your Ishta in front of you. Lift your eyes, gazing into the face of your Ishta. See the sacred sound of Om at your sun center. The Ah, the U, the M, and the sustaining Bindu. See this as golden light. And as we softly, gently chant the Om, see the light radiate from your sun center to the heart of your Ishta Devata and ascend upward to the crown center of your Ishta and pour down upon you, filling every cell of your being with the Om. Let us begin with each Om. The light pours from your sun center to the heart of your Ishta. It ascends upward to the crown center of your Ishta and pours down upon you. Feel the light pouring down and accept the blessings of your Ishta. The Om ascends to the heart of your Ishta and moves upward to the sun center, above the sun center to the thousand petal lotus, and pours down upon you. Open your being to accept all of the blessings. As you receive the blessings of your Ishta, feel the karma softening and washing through you, being replaced by the light of Om. Exhaling on the Om, inhaling as the light is poured down upon you. Drawing the pranic energy up to your sun center, exhaling on the Om. Inhaling the blessings. And now simply sit and with your third eye, your sun center, gaze into the eyes of your Ishta. Speak to your Ishta, saying whatever you wish to communicate. You and your Ishta and you. And now expand to the Sangha and our Ishtas and the Sangha. as we are together in the high place. The flame of Kriya Jyoti radiating within each soul at the sun center, radiating internally, externally, so that each soul that you see is Kriya Jyoti. Know that your Ishta is radiating the light of Kriya. O ye powers that be, we come to thee at this moment. We call forth that thou wilt come with us as we send forth our blessings unto all of those in need. First, my beloved, to Mother Gaia. Let us chant the Om mantra and feel the light of Om pouring upon Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, around her, within her, upon her, bringing all that she needs, softening, softening, softening the karmas. Chant the Om 3 times. O ye powers that be, thou knowest better than we what is needed to soften the karmas. For those souls who are living with cancer in their bodies, particularly today for Heather, and for Ginny, and for G. May they have the strength that they need, the healing that they need, the help that they need. For all of those souls living with water insecurity, with food insecurity, with shelter insecurity, with economic insecurity, with environmental insecurity. Thou knowest what they need. We ask thee to soften the karmas. And let us chant the Om Shanti mantra here 6 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 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 For all of those souls who are living with violence, with chaos, who are living in war, who are living in imprisonment, whose minds and bodies are filled with constrictive emotions of all kinds. We call upon thee, powers that be, to send forth thy blessings. Always soften, soften, soften the karmas. Please assist us that the karmas be softened. We do not know what is most needed. Please soften the karmas of both the prisoner and the imprisoned, those souls who are imprisoning others and those souls who are imprisoned, those souls who are sprinkling chaos throughout the world, and those souls who are reaping and feeling and receiving their chaotic messages. May all be healed. May the bounty and beauty of Anandic bliss neutralize these negative karmas, these difficult, challenging karmas. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 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 O ye powers that be, as each one of us in this Sangha holds to our mind's eye our own needs, the needs of our loved ones, we ask you to bless us, to bless our loved ones, to fulfill those needs that we have. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 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 Harihit. Om. Ji. Your presence is a blessing. Your spiritual energy is a blessing. Thank you for being here today, for sharing your blessings with all of those who are in need. Namaste, Ji.